Welcome to our Speaker Spotlight conversation. I'm Brandon Taylor for Information Week and IT Pro Today. I'm connecting with a very special guest today, Christian Hyatt, who is the CEO and co-founder at risk3sixty. He is responsible for focusing and setting the vision for the risk3sixty team at large, while ensuring cooperative efforts from the leadership team help create purpose and alignment company-wide. So when we think about your upcoming keynote, how to respond to a ransomware attack, preparations to do today, we know that uptime, backups, and recovery are critical, not only for a business's reputation, but also their ability to sustain business operations that generally feed revenue. If you're constantly reacting, then you're probably late to the ransomware party. So how can you be proactive before an attack? Is it as simple as just setting priorities within a risk assessment?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about the presentation. I'm working with our OffSec leader, who's been in the pen test space for decades. He leads the Red Team Village at DEF CON and Black Hat, and between him and myself, we've helped a lot of organizations with risk, just like ransomware or breaking into their company through pen testing and doing red teaming. So he and I have been collaborating on thinking about how we're going to go about this presentation. I think there's a couple things that I think make a big impact if you're a company thinking about how to reduce the risk of ransomware. And we're going to address that in the presentation. So some of the things we're going to talk about is number one is just the context of the industry. Like, how big of a problem is this, and how important should senior executives take this problem? So if you're a CEO and you're otherwise worried about growing your company, you're worried about culture, you're worried about the economic situation, should ransomware make the list, and how big of a problem is any? So giving that context, I think, is a big piece of it. We've done some research on an organization called Conti, which is a now defunct group that was very popular for some of the ransomware incidents they did, and there were some leaked documents. So we'll talk into their organizational structure and reveal how it is a business with business units and employees and some of the dynamics there. And then we're going to dive into some of the red team, blue team view of the world. And what that means is Corey will walk through, as a hacker, how would he actually get in? Everything from doing reconnaissance to getting that initial entry point to wreaking havoc to encrypting the data. And I'm going to take the blue team stance and talk about some of those controls that you can do along the way. So one of the things you mentioned is, like, at the beginning, how do you uncover things during the risk assessment? How do you make this a priority for executives? How do you know if your data is on the dark web? All the way to, this thing happened, how do I recover? And I need some controls like being able to restore from backups. So I'm hoping that by providing some of that context and then diving into the details of a real world scenario and talk about how they would attack you and how you could perhaps defend yourself, that'll give the audience some of those talking points that they need to take that back to their own organization and escalate the issue and make it a priority.
Awesome. And we obviously have a lot to look forward to coming up on August the 24th. And so as a speaker and CEO group member at Vistage, impacting, advising, and education through executive coaching has been a focal point during your career. You're also actively using your voice to elevate the next generation of IT professionals by offering real-world experience through internships at Risk 360. So having worked with the University of Georgia, Georgia Tech, and Kennesaw State University, can you tell us what makes you so passionate about giving back?
Yeah. So I'm a first generation college grad. Neither one of my parents even graduated high school. So when I kind of reflect on my life, I went to the University of Georgia here in Georgia. I also went to Georgia Tech, but that time period of 18-year-old young man graduating high school, leaving home for the first time, going to college, choosing a career, that was such an important inflection point for my life, and put me on a trajectory where I could really be a transitional figure for future members of my family. I've come to realize that was such a pivotal moment for me, and there's a few mentors that made a huge impact in my life at that time in my life that I want to do the same for others. So one of the things that we've done as an organization is be on campus so we can impact those young people trying to choose their own career, and then trying to let them know that cybersecurity and consulting is just a huge opportunity. There's great jobs, it's interesting. They can go off into different fields. And even if they don't choose cybersecurity, make an impact on their life and like get them excited about entering the business world. So we've chose to invest in that, and I'm really proud of the work that our team has done on campus through Georgia, and very fortunate to be in Atlanta. I have such a good university system to work with.
Definitely, and a really large talent pool, which you've
Absolutely.
obviously spoke to as well. And so, Christian, I want to thank you for your time today, and we definitely look forward to watching your keynote presentation coming up on Thursday, August 24th, beginning at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, titled "How to Respond to a Ransomware Attack: Preparations to Do Today." And again, this keynote session will be a part of our upcoming live virtual event, Cyber Resilience 2023. How to keep operations running no matter what, presented by Information Week and IT Pro Today. And that event begins at 11 a.m. Eastern. So make sure to register for our live webinar at the link within the description box below this video so you do not miss this event. Again, my name is Brandon Taylor for Information Week and IT Pro Today, and this has been our Speaker Spotlight conversation with Christian Hyatt.